Alrighty, what up everybody? Welcome to another episode of the SATS Show, your beginner-friendly guide to saving in Bitcoin. Thanks for coming in here and smacking that like up. Okay. Like, slapping likes, stacking likes. I'm not wearing my headphones today because yesterday I was waiting for a package that I had to sign for, and it just happened to show up right smack dab in the middle of me doing this show. I didn't hear the UPS guy knocking, and I missed that delivery. So sad. But today I'm operating without headphones, so if the sound is off, let me know. It looks good, but in case the UPS man comes and knocks at the door, I'm gonna run and I'll be back, guys. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, if somebody shows up later, doesn't understand why I just ran, it's because I don't want to miss the UPS guy. So just hang in there. Let everybody else know that doesn't know if they show up. Okay. All right. That said, today Bitcoin is dropping. It's going to zero. Just kidding, you little paper hands crying babies. Don't worry about it. Okay. It's going down. This means you can buy more SATS per dollar right now, and nothing has changed. Okay. The government's still printing money and the banks are still issuing debt, so they're still debasing the dollar. Okay, Bitcoin is still a better asset to hold. Okay, basic, keeping it real with you guys, keeping it straight up. Just letting you know that Bitcoin dips are actually gifts. Okay, that's when you should be stacking the hardest, because you're gonna get more SATS per dollar. You're increasing the multipliers of your wealth. Right, the more SATS you hold, the faster you'll get to your financial goal or to your retirement age or whatever you want to do. Right? Look, for example, it dipped all the way down to 65,115. Right? First it dipped to like 67,380, and then I was like, oh man, I jumped the gun. I bought the one line for for the 100 lines challenge. I already bought it, guys. Sorry. I bought it ahead of time because I saw that it dipped. I was like, oh my God, this is a good dip. So I went ahead and bought the 100. I bought the $74 line. And then it came back up and I was like, yes, perfect buy-in. And then it went and dropped again to like 125. And I was like, no, I bought some more for my personal stash. But anyway, I still have to do the $20 buy for today for the DCA. So anyways, we're still gonna do some buying today, and I'll still show you the spreadsheets so we're on the same page. Okay. All right. Let me pause this music. Okay. So let's get to the beginning. Let's get to the first segment of the show that we like to call. Well, before we do that, shout out, round of applause to McLovin. Thanks for tuning in. Shout out, round of applause to Carlos Aramillo. What up, Carlos? This is the end. Everyone sell their Bitcoin to me. Exactly. Carlos gets it. I know McLaren gets it too. It's crazy. And then I just saw, I couldn't find the post, but I saw on an X post that there's 13 other either countries or 13 other filings for ETFs. So beyond the ETFs that already got filed, like the 11 or 12 that got approved, there's another 13 ETFs that got filed. Some in Canada, I think, in the past, I think today or this week. So there's just more demand coming in. It's more demand, and with more demand and supply decreasing, only one thing can go up, and that is the price. That is the value of the SATS you're holding right now. Speaking of the value of the SATS, what is the SATS strength today? Let's take a peek at the SATS strength. Let's see. All right, $67,254.09 is the current price of Bitcoin. It's on sale. It's on discount. Okay. The floodgate is barely open. Just wait and see. McLovin, I 100% agree with that. It's very true. Like, most people haven't even got into it. Like, just regular folks haven't even heard about it. You know, most people think it's still most people think it's dead. Most people think Bitcoin is dead. The last time they heard about it was when it crashed from 69,000. Like, they have no idea it's back up and beyond 69,000. or what was beyond 69,000, right? I have no idea it's back up to all-time high. This is actually all-time high right here before for the past 2 years, right? 2 or 3 years. Okay, so today you can buy. Oh, I didn't even show on the screen yet. There it is. Browser, come on, browser. All right, there it is. Today the price of Bitcoin is $67,145.82. You can buy 1,489 satoshis for a single dollar. What the heck is a satoshi? A satoshi is a fraction of a Bitcoin. Just like a dollar has 100 cents, a Bitcoin is made up of 100 million satoshis. So if you can accumulate 100 million satoshis, you in essence have a Bitcoin, and you'll be way ahead of the game. Way ahead of the game. Okay. All right. So we have. Let's say you're walking down the street, minding your own business. You look down, you see a penny, you pick it up, and all the day you'll have about 15 satoshis. One penny gets you 15 satoshis. Well, less than 15 satoshis, almost 15 satoshis, right? It's important to highlight that because it means that you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin all at once. You can buy it in fractions, okay? Just as much as you feel comfortable with, okay? You can buy a regular amount each day, a regular amount each week, or a regular amount each month. Whatever you feel comfortable with, as long as you start stacking sats, you're basically taking the value that the dollars represent when you invest them into Bitcoin, and you're freezing that value and taking it away from the debasement of the money system. You're not actually freezing it. You're kind of like, you're multiplying it, because as you save, the value of your Bitcoin savings will continue to go up against the dollar, because the dollar is weakening because they continue to print it. They continue to issue debt against it. So anyway, let's get into the next segment that we like to call Why We Stack. What up, Garrett? Garrett in the house. Let's go. Round of applause from the live studio audience for Garrett. All right, so we're stacking. We're keeping it simple, guys. If you're new to the show here, this is my pitch to you. If you're thinking about Bitcoin, wondering what the heck is this about, why should I care about Bitcoin? Because this, saving in Bitcoin is like giving yourself a retroactive and continuous raise for the hours you've already worked for as long as you can hold that Bitcoin that represents that time you worked. Okay, there it is, plain and simple. That is the one-liner elevator pitch to why you should look into Bitcoin. If you're tired of working 2 jobs and an Uber on the side just to continue to lose ground, continue to have to switch from steaks to burgers, from burgers to chicken, from chicken to fake meat, right? To crickets, to insects, right? It's because your purchasing power is getting you're losing purchasing power when you're holding dollars. You're losing purchasing power when you're holding most things except for Bitcoin. You're just losing it at a different rate, right? Nothing is probably losing it as fast as like another country's currency. Second fastest would be the dollar, and then the next thing maybe is I don't know, real estate, maybe stocks and bonds, or stocks and real estate. Bonds, don't even get me started on bonds. I hear people talk about, oh yeah, I'm gonna take my profits and invest them into treasury bills, T-bills, right? They're gonna pay me, they're gonna guarantee me 4.5% or even 5%, right, over 10 years. Don't be a moron. Just kidding. Oh, getting feisty here. Don't be a dummy, okay? If you're getting 5% back on your money for 10 years, over 10 years, but the inflation rate is over 10%, you're still losing 5% a year for those 10 years, compounding, right? So at the end of those 10 years, yeah, you're gonna get the dollar amount that they promised you. You'll get 5% more dollars than what you put in, but those 5% more dollars will buy you a lot less things, because the prices of things would have gone up. So relative to the future economy in 10 years, when you get that money back, you've actually lost 5% on the initial investment. Okay, even with a 5% profit or 5% yield. Oh no, hard hodl, you scared me. I'm like, I put a note on the door that said, "Hi, UPS driver, please ring the doorbell." Like 20 times! Exclamation point, happy face. So if you hear somebody war dialing on my doorbell, that's probably what it is. A retroactive pay raise. Yeah, exactly, McLovin. That's exactly what it is. If you can work an extra hour of overtime, pay your taxes on the overtime, they're going to take half of that money anyway, right? Take the rest of that hour of overtime, put it into Bitcoin, and don't touch it. And now that 1 hour of overtime, it's like going back in time and giving yourself a perpetual, ever increasing retroactive raise for the hour of overtime that you already worked. That's freaking awesome. Okay? It's awesome. So that's how you come to that conclusion where Michael Saylor comes up with this thing where he says, like, if you have somebody this day and age that's working at McDonald's and just smash buys all of his paycheck into Bitcoin, right? From now until whenever. In do you say 10 years? In about 10 years, it'll be equivalent to earning like $8,000 an hour, right? Even though what's the new minimum pay? It's like $20 an hour, right? It's $20 an hour. $20 an hour, stacking all that. Jeez. Anyway, you don't have to go that extreme, but you go as extreme as you feel comfortable with, right? Don't believe me. I'm just a guy on the internet. And the people in chat are just guys at home on their computer or whatever, right? We might not even be really stacking. We're just pretending to be stacking. Just kidding. Anyway, we're here to inspire you to look into and learn about Bitcoin. And once you start to look into Bitcoin with the skeptic's eye. Look into Bitcoin with to see if you can figure out what is wrong with it. What is the catch? What is the catch here? Who's the sucker? Why? How is this even possible? How is the value going up? Look at it and analyze Bitcoin with that mind frame, okay? With that mindset. That way, if you can find something wrong with it, with that system, with Bitcoin, with the way Bitcoin works against like the monetary system, bring it in here. Let me know. I would love to hear about it. I'd love to hear about it. Okay. And on top of that, now look at the dollar system with that same skeptical eye. Okay. With that same degree of suspicion, the same degree of what's the opposite of trust? Of distrust? The same degree of lack of trust? The same skepticism as you're looking at Bitcoin. When you hear about Bitcoin for the first time, you're like, man, that's a scam. That's for criminals. It got banned, right? It's going to zero. Isn't it dead? Isn't it tulips? Right? With that same degree of skepticism, look at Bitcoin, right? And then take that same degree of skepticism and look at the dollar. And you're gonna realize, holy smokes, I'm living a lie. I'm living in a scam system. Okay. Anyway, it's hard, but you can do it. I know you can. Okay. All right. That said, today, guys, I already jumped the gun when Bitcoin dipped once to 67,000. Well, let's do the stack recap. Here we go. Stack recap. Stack recap, because we don't only talk about stacking sats here. We actually do it Monday through Friday, 12:30 p.m., 3:30 Eastern. And I couldn't resist, boys. I went ahead and stacked a stack for the 100 stacks challenge. I did the line number 74. When it dropped to 67,000, I thought it was a quick drop and it's gonna come back up, and then it dropped again. It's at 65.9. No, it's at 67 right now. So that was a little pre-stack because I wanted to get a nice fill, but we got it. We got in pretty good. It's still, we got a good fill, but in all honesty, we would have had a better buy now because it's dropped even lower. But it doesn't matter. It still stacks in the bag, and that's all that matters. Okay. For a regular stack, we are going to do a $20 buy today because the price of Bitcoin is well above our average buy price. So $20 is the buy of the day. All right. Now that we know how much Bitcoin we're going to buy, it's time to do one thing and one thing only. And that is time to stack some mother loving sats. Well, I hear some rumbling. Maybe the UPS guy's showing it. Come on, UPS, man. Well, let me hang, bro. Maybe the UPS guy's bumping music. All right. I'm back. I think it's just some random person driving down the street with like a really loud stereo system. For those of you that jumped in a little bit late, I'm waiting for the UPS guy. The UPS guy showed up right smack dab in the middle of my show yesterday when I had my headphones on. I didn't hear the doorbell. Terrible. I missed the delivery and I had to sign for it. So they'll be back today, and maybe they'll be back here in a couple minutes. We'll see. But if you see me get up and run, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna catch the UPS guy. So I apologize ahead of time, but that's what I'm doing. I'll go sign for that stuff and come right back in. So maybe like a minute or two, okay? But I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss it this time, because man. All right, here we go. We're stacking today over on Swan. Oh, here's the purchase from today, earlier. So you know we did it today. We bought $74 worth of Bitcoin, and with no fees, we ended up getting an extra 1,050 sats. That's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. All right. Somebody close that. Uh-oh. I'll wait for the page. A swan breaking? I got a broken swan? It's the swan break with the swan break. There we go. Then try to buy a bunch of Bitcoin right now. Wow. Interesting. The plot thickens. Dun dun dun. Everybody heard that it was fee free and maybe what? You can wait. There it is. It's back. I like how Hard Hodl instantly goes, yep, I told you. Instantly goes nuclear. All right, here we go. $20 worth of Bitcoin with 0 fees coming in hot. Preview time. Boom. Give me that preview. Oh yeah, it's dipping right now a little bit. Boom. Perfect. Perfect timing. Here we go. Coming back. Boom. Drum roll, please. We're buying Bitcoin right now. We're buying it. $20 worth of Bitcoin. 0 fees. Let's go. And we have. So, there we go. I think it went. Speaking of nuclear, I have something to share with you guys right now after we done with this. There it is. We stacked an extra 295 sats because we didn't have to pay the fee. There it is, just like that. Boom. And when we stack, of course, we chill. Take a deep breath. Sigh of relief. We are done stacking for the day. Maybe. If Bitcoin has another dip, I want to buy some more. I'm just telling you up front. If Bitcoin has another dip, I'm buying more for my personal stash off. Yep, I'll figure out what I need to sell later, but if it dips more than this, I'm gonna buy more. It's just too good of a deal. Too good of a deal to pass up. All right. We updated this spreadsheet already. Let's update the main one with today's buy. Oh man, sweet stats. $67, and yeah, let's go. 67,130. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Sweet stats. 0.000299793 Bitcoin. And just like that. 29,793 Satoshis in 2024. Brings our total for 2024 to 4.3 million Satoshis. And our total for the whole lifespan of the show is let's see. 15.09 million Satoshis. Slow and steady, boys. You know, it seemed like it was gonna take such a long time to get to even 0.15 Bitcoin. But damn, we're like 1/10 away from a quarter of a Bitcoin. Hey, small victories, you gotta take them where you can. You know, stay motivated, guys. I'm telling you, we were sitting here trying to figure out the best way to show people that this is actually working. And yeah, we've been bouncing around between 70 and 90,000 gains. Sorry, 70 and 90,000%, 70 and 90% gains for the past month or so. But still, like, even if you just started saving in Bitcoin this year, you're still up 32%. You're not gonna get 32% returns on anything these days, right? Nobody's gonna give you that big of a discount. First of all, maybe. Do you get a 32% discount on your groceries this next time you go to shopping? You think you get a 32% discount on your car payment or your rent or your mortgage? No way, right? I did a little bit of analysis on my own yesterday. I was looking at it. I was imagining a scenario. And of course, this is not financial advice. This is just me messing around with ChatGPT. And if you have like debt that you gotta pay, but the interest rate on that debt is low. My question was, does it make sense to pay the minimum on that debt to service it, or and pay a little extra on top of it to knock down the principal? Or is it better to just pay enough, the minimum, to service the debt and take whatever money you were going to put into as an additional payment and put it into Bitcoin, right? You'd be paying interest rate on that balance, but then the goal. I guess what you normally think of as a goal would be to reduce the principal of that debt by paying extra, so that you can be done paying the loan sooner, because you're cutting more into the principal of the debt, right? You're paying the interest, and then whatever doesn't go in interest goes into the principal, and you start lowering the overall the amount of money you owe and the amount of money you have to pay interest on, right? And I try running an analysis of like, okay, well, if Bitcoin continues to perform the way it does it make sense to do extra payment on your normal loan, or to take that money that you would have done as an extra payment on the normal loan and just save it in Bitcoin, right? And if we'd have done that since the beginning of the show, or since the beginning of the year, actually, you're probably better off depending on your interest rate. If you have a debt with interest rate higher than 30%, then no, it's not gonna work. But if you have debt with interest rate that's like 10%, 7%, 8%, 5%, 2%, right? It makes more sense that extra money that you would be using to pay off the debt, like the additional payment beyond your normal payment, would perform better in Bitcoin, right? I mean, of course, you have to consider like that you'd be taxed on the additional profits if you took profits. But if you're servicing that debt anyway and you're making your payments, even if you don't sell that Bitcoin to pay off the debt when it becomes enough, you're still better off taking that extra stash and putting it into Bitcoin and then into paying for the debt, even if the debt has a little bit of not a high interest, but like a low interest, right? I know it's kind of a weird area to venture into. What do you guys have? You guys ever had thoughts on that? Like, what do you guys think about that kind of situation? Like, servicing your debts, just paying your debts. I'm not saying skip payments. I'm saying making extra or additional payments on your debts, because that additional money could go towards stacking sats instead, and it's more profitable to stack sats, at least for the past year or so, than to make additional payments on that debt. That makes sense? What do you guys think? Let me know. Put in the chat. That's a question for you guys. Okay. While that's happening, let me tell you. Was it yesterday? The day before yesterday, I started watching. Was it Leonard? Are you in here? Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? I started watching that series, Fallout. It's based on the video game. Dude, that's cool. I gotta say. This is not financial advice. Absolutely not. This is just a guy wondering what's a better option. But yeah, I watched the Fallout series on Prime. It was pretty good. I actually enjoyed it. So if you're looking for something to watch, you know, after you stack sats, it's a good little series. It's a good little series. Also watch this movie. It's an older movie. A little gem. I think it's a little gem. I found it. It's called the Peanut Butter Falcon. It's a really cool movie. I wouldn't watch Fallout with the kids. Okay, don't watch that with the kids. But you can watch Peanut Butter Falcon with the kids. That's a great movie. It's got some. Anyway, I won't give it up. But it's got some great one-liners. It's a nice little movie. It's a very story-driven, which I like. The Peanut Butter Falcon movie. It's story-driven, and it's not a bunch of fancy CGI special effects. It's just like a story, which is great. Anyway, no UPS guy yet, so I did exactly that. I was paying down my mortgage an extra $300 a month a year, but my rate is only 2.5. Yeah, there you go. So decided to leverage that 300. Yeah, it's just okay. So I'm not going crazy, Garrett. Yeah, it makes sense, right? Because if you have a debt that's like 2% and inflation is 10%, right? You actually want to hold on to that debt as long as possible, because you're paying back the debt with future weaker money, right? You're paying back with weaker money, right? So yeah, okay, Garrett, that's kind of the thought process I was going through the other day. But yeah, shout out to Carlos, thanks for tuning in. Hope everything is good. Have a great weekend. And I think that's it, guys. That's what I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this brief episode of the Stack Sats Show. We are here Monday through Friday, stacking sats, shaking hands, kissing babies, stacking sats, slapping babies. No politics, just Bitcoin. No poop coins, no yield assets, no Bitcoin trading, none of that stuff. No poop coining, all Bitcoin all the time. Saving Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, hodl Bitcoin. There is no sell. Okay? I'll see you guys next week. Have a great weekend. But until then, remember, if you ain't stacking, you're slacking. Later, guys.